So with this, without taking any more time, I would now like to, with immense pleasure, I would now like to introduce Dr. Chetan More sir for keynote address. Dr. Chetan More sir is a well-known motivational speaker and writer. He is a writer of one of the best-selling book, Interview Skills and Techniques, which is particularly useful for rural upcomers. His motivational talks and books aim at solving practical issues which has cropped up due to rapid urbanization. He is currently working with D.Y. Patil University in Talegaon, Pune, and has trained many young students to make a transition to become entrepreneurs. This, I think, is in a further step to what Gram Unnati Mandal's mission is actually for developing the model for the rural areas. So very warm welcome, Dr. Chetan More sir. Glad to have you on this platform once again. Please go ahead with your...
The way Manoj Jain sir introduced, and I being a motivational speaker, I get motivated to speak. Thank you
very much. That's a great compliment for this morning. Thank you.
Yeah. So to start with, my name is Chetan More and I'm a motivational speaker. So don't expect any research or any management related things from me. I'm not here to publish a paper. I am just here to have a discussion with you. Dr. Prakash is a good friend of mine, and he usually invites me for morning sessions so that I can try to motivate you all people and I can discuss some practical things with all. So this session is regarding listening to some stories, listening to some practical issues which have cropped up to today's current scenario. Yesterday only, I have taken my second dose of vaccination as we all are suffering or we are going from a very difficult phase. COVID-19 has mostly affected researchers. They have mostly affected the education field. And I hope the expected audience today, they are mostly from teaching background, or we can say that from a research background. So what to discuss with these things? To start with, we'll start with a very small story, as we all are Indians and we love numbers and stories a lot because we have started listening to the stories when we were in mother's womb. So stories are very close to us. Today we'll be discussing, I wanted to discuss regarding two different aspects. One is what is fact and one is what is technical thing. Most of the times we are thinking so much about technology that sometimes we forget about the factual things, whatever are going in and around the society. I'll narrate you one simple story which will give you a perfect idea that factual things are also important. In a class of 3rd standard, a faculty was teaching students mathematics. And during mathematics class, she explained the student what is addition. And after delivering a lecture for 15-20 minutes, she was of the opinion that now I had taught them from bottom of my heart. I have put in a lot of efforts. So all of them will be able to answer the questions which I put in front of them. At that point of time, a lady asked a small girl that if you have 3 cherries in your hand, and if I give you 3 more cherries, how many cherries will be there in your hand? At that point of time, the girl answered, ma'am, 7. The teacher was shocked. I have taught you for 15-20 minutes and I was of the opinion that you being a very smart girl, you being a very talented girl, you could have easily answered that the answer is 6. But she was shocked to learn that the answer which a small girl told, it was 7. At that point of time, the lady was so disappointed and she again changed the question that if you have 3 apples in your hand and if I give you 3 more apples, what would be the count? At that point of time, the girl answered, ma'am, is 6. The teacher was very much happy. She thought that whatever I had taught that has transformed the girl and I'm getting the answers. That means she's knowing the addition so that rest of the class will also know the answers. Then again, she came on the original question. If I give you 3 cherries and if you already have 3 cherries in hand, how many cherries will be there? At that point of time, again, the girl answered, ma'am, it will be 7. Again, the teacher was shocked. Her happiness was only for a few minutes. Observing all this, the principal madam entered the class and she told the teacher that go and check the bag of that little girl. And when the teacher went and checked the bag of little girl, she found that there was already one cherry lying in that bag and she was counting that cherry also. So apart from technical things, we need to understand the facts also. That is very much important in today's age. So understanding factual things and getting the technical knowledge, both the things, they go hand in hand. So along with technical skills, understanding the facts are also very much important in today's age. So this was the story all about knowing the factual things also, along with getting groomed with the technical knowledge. I would like to also share one very interesting example about the mother zebra. You all are research scholars, we all are teachers, and some may be from a different field. But coronavirus, they have this pandemic, it has affected the teaching field or education system or research system a lot. Now, what we have to learn from this particular situation? I will just share my screen so that the picture will be more clear. So you see the picture of cricket. Now, what makes cricket different than the rest of the game? We have kabaddi, we have hockey. Hockey is our national event. Then along with that, we have a number of games in India. But what makes cricket different? The thing is that cricket has been professionally prepared. Now it's not only a game. Now it has become a profession. It has turned out to be a professional. Commercialization from economic point of view also, cricket has turned out to be one of the game which is gaining a lot of income. And you see that cricket is now become a very rich man's game. Initially it was gentleman's game, but now this cricket as a profession, it is having that economical power, and you know that everything evolves around economy. So as like cricket, most of the spokesperson yesterday also, they delivered and they told that economy, we have to gain some financial reward out of our research. There was a very beautiful question answered by a lady when it was asked to her by one of the reporter who was not that much aware about how the research takes place and how much time a research requires. He asked that lady in the pandemic, in the first wave of coronavirus or in COVID-19, that why it is taking delay to get the vaccination for this COVID-19 pandemic. Why you are not preparing the vaccination immediately? At that point of time, a lady, I think she was from Thailand, and she answered beautifully that you are considering the cricketers, you are considering the entertainers as God, you are paying them like anything, and you are not paying, you are not keeping in mind how much important the research is, and researchers are not being paid as like them. And now you have got to know the importance of researchers. So now people have also started taking the field of research as one of the glamour field, as one of the field which is very much essential. Till the existence of COVID-19, research was the field, only few people used to enter this field, and the people who entered this field were not been that much respected the way the entertainers and the way the cricketers, they were entertained or they were respected. So COVID-19 has taught us the importance of research also. Now, as like cricket, most of the speakers yesterday also told that commercialization of research should be also done. There should be an encashment from economic point of view also. The research can be also viewed. So we have to make this research also commercialized. We have to make it as a profession, and there should be a financial rewards also involved in that. As you all know that everything evolves around finances. So this is what I would like to urge to all the researchers, make some applications of your research. The research should not lie in only papers, will not only yield you degrees, but it should be helpful to the humankind, and applications should reach out to the normal people so that the research will get that glamour, and then the funds will be allotted, and it will also be a financial rewarding thing. I'll move to the next topic. most of the researchers actually, they fail to understand for whom they are doing research. When you go in any organization for a job or for doing anything, at that time, understanding the manager, understanding the owner is very important. Similarly, in our body also, the manager of the body is brain, and understanding the brain is very much important. So I'll tell you the lobes of the brain. Frontal lobe, this is the lobe which you all people, whether the target audience which I am talking to is from management and accounts department. So this is the frontal lobe. This lobe is very much active in the people, those who are in this particular field. We have parietal lobe, we have temporal lobe between two ear lobes. We have occipital lobe, which is related with the architecture people, with the civil people. They have a very good civil sense. But the audience which I am targeting is having the neuron density is more saturated in this frontal lobe. If you have chosen your field by your choice, that means you have listened to the inner voice. The saturation of neuron in that frontal lobe is more. And if the saturation of neuron in the frontal lobe is more, this people is more inclined towards going into management field and accounting field. So I'm talking to these people where the neurons are more saturated in the frontal lobe. So whenever you are presenting any research or whenever you are targeting particular society or particular community or particular topic of the research, so for whom you are presenting, or for whom you are doing, you need to understand these people also. You need to understand their professional thought process also. And this will be very much important for you to present your research. So if you are presenting your research to the architecture people or civil line people, if you are explaining your management policies to them, make sure that you present it through the videos. Make sure that you present it in a pictorial representation. So there are three types of people in the market. One people, they are looker, they always look into your eyes. Okay, so these people, they always look upwards when they are doing, when they are talking with you. So these people are looker. So what you think you need to take care is, you need to present your research work, you need to present your papers to the lookers in the manner they like, that is in the pictorial representation. Few people, they are audio people, 20% people, they are an audio people. So they tend to look towards their left side. They always look down towards their left side. These people are audio people. They know, they understand well when you narrate them the research articles, or when you explain them in a proper manner. 5% people, they are touchers. So you need to prepare some models to explain them if you want to explain your research to these all people. So this was all about the brain. So one more thing which I had just written on my blog yesterday: take good care of your reputation. So when you are doing research, make sure that the topic is strong, because you get only a single chance to put a first impression. So you have to take care of your reputation also, because it's going to live longer than you. So make sure that you maintain a very good reputation in terms of the quality of the papers which you present, in terms of the research work which you do. So this reputation word should be always kept into your mind. I had a very interesting discussion yesterday regarding the topics. Most of the Indians, most of all of us, we only learn. In my last lecture also, I had talked about one incident which took place when I went to a school for an inspection. I asked a small girl that, where do sun rise? And at that point of time, the girl didn't answer. I was expecting the answer east. So 25 students, they answered in one voice that sun rises in east. But one girl answered that, sir, sun do not rise in east. It appears to rise in east. Sun is stable. So that was what? That was relearning. So what we do usually, we learn and we consider it as the fact. Whatever we have learned, we always consider it as the fact, and we forget the phenomena of unlearning. We forget the phenomena of relearning. When we were born, we know how to crawl. Then we started balancing, and then we started walking. So when we started walking, we have unlearned the process of crawling. If I would have not unlearned the process of crawling, I would have seen all the human beings crawling. So it's our body who is teaching you these phenomena. I repeat again, the phenomena of learning, unlearning, and relearning. So this body has taught us crawling, balancing, and then walking. So if we would have not unlearned the phenomena of crawling, we would have crawled. Like reptiles and snakes, we would have also crawled. Fine. So this is a very important thing. Learning, unlearning, and relearning. Most of the times we only do learning. Make sure that you also do unlearning. So it takes curiosity to learn. It takes courage to unlearn. Learning requires the humility to admit what you don't know today. I repeat again, learning requires the humility to admit what you don't know today. Unlearning requires the integrity to admit that you were wrong yesterday. So this is very much important. Learning is how you evolve, and unlearning is how you keep up as the world evolves. So this is the basic difference between learning and unlearning. So I urge you all people that whatever you have learned in a long run, due to the course of time, that might not be good, that might not be valid right now. So make sure that you unlearn that and make sure that you also try to relearn those things. I had a very good discussion with most of the people on this topic. On someday, if I get an opportunity, I'll be talking about this learning, unlearning, and relearning. Today, I have some time constraints. That's the reason why I had just introduced you this topic, and I'll move further. So your company is very much important. So I'm quite fortunate that I am in a company of all the researchers, Manoj Chen, Dr. Prakash, and the reason behind that is you are the average of 5 people you spend the most time with. So you are nothing, but you are just the average of those 5 people with you. You spend the most time with. So you have to make sure that the company which you have, that should be good. Mostly that should be higher in the hierarchy. They must be knowledgeable. The reason behind that is you are just the average of those 5 people. Most of the times you see leaders, they have just occupying the place. We have an example of the president of Afghanistan. He just withdrew it and he just went into another nation when the nation needed the most. So without initiative, leaders are simply the workers at leadership positions. So I repeat this thought again, without initiative, leaders are simply workers at leadership positions. So this is a mid-time going on. So I would like to show you 3 pictures. You all are seeing this. There is a family get together and no one is together. Everyone has got them involved in a very small device called as mobile. So your focus should be on the work what you do. Most of the times now mobile is a device which has distracted us a lot. So you should not divert your focus here and there. The most of the times, most of the people, they fail because of their lack of focus. So whenever the beef goes, you get panic. Whenever the mobile is apart from you for 5 to 10 minutes, you get panic and you start searching the device. Whenever there is an ringtone, you make sure that you see whatever the messages are being given to you. So this device is distracting you a lot, and mostly research people, you need to have a focus and you need to stay away from getting excess use of this technology. So nowadays kids are also been in this. And I got a beautiful message yesterday. I'm just taking 5 to 10 more minutes with the permission of the Honorable Dr. Prakash, who is an organizer. I got a beautiful message yesterday. Happiness, last seen was 4 years ago. Problems is typing and depression is online. So this is what happens in the life of human being. I would like to tell you a very, due to time constraint, I would not focus on the first 2 points. I would like to focus on point number 3, depression. So depression is a stage where you can take it positively. I repeat again, depression is the stage which can be taken positively and through which there is a lot of creative work done. Through which a lot of creative work is done. When you are depressed, when your heart is broken, at that point of time, emotional energy is generated. You are on the tip of that mountain and you have 3 F's with you. One is fear, which you carry throughout your life. One is falling and one is flying. So you have these 3 F's with you. And in depression, the good part of depression is you are not feared of anything now. When your heart is broken, you are not feared of anything. Anything means you are not feared of falling also, and you are not feared of flying also. So when Mumtaz's death was a very depressing moment to Shah Jahan, and the emotional energy which came out of his heart was responsible for creating that Taj Mahal. So through that depression, we got Taj Mahal. So anyone is depressed, make sure that you are not feared of anyone. So instead of falling, let's try and let's fly. So it gives you that energy of flying also. So most of the school dropouts, they are now entrepreneurs, they are scientists, because they have flied out of that depression. That F which has troubled you throughout your entire journey of life, that is fear, now that is no more. So whenever you are depressed, make sure that you always try to fly. This is a better opportunity for you. So some brain damaging habit which I would like to discuss: overreacting to something, smoking, lack of stimulating thoughts, air pollution, head covered while sleeping, then you're working on your brain when you are ill, high consumption of sugar, no breakfast, and talking rarely. These are the things which damages your brain. So make sure that if the manager is good in the company, if manager is healthy, then entire organization is healthy. So your brain is your manager. Make sure that your brain is quite healthy so that rest of your organs will support you. It's 10:30. And I think today I have made it possible to wind up my talk in the stipulated time. Whenever I will get a opportunity, I'll make sure that I'll come and I will try to motivate you all. Thank you very much. Over to you, Manoj Jain, sir.
Thank you very much, Dr. Chetan More, sir, for motivating us by sharing some really informative, inspirational, and I would say amazing stories. Your emphasis on application of research from economic point of view is worth taking note of. Thanks once again for giving a great start to this session, making this morning perfect one. And definitely we look forward for such sessions, and it is a great idea. From
any questions, please? Questions.
Dr. Prakash Divakaran, sir, to give a first motivational speech as the keynote address. That's what our researchers need to begin their day with, probably in the first thing in the morning. Thank you very much for your time. And now,
any questions from anybody?
Any discussions, suggestions, thoughts, feedbacks?
Sir, I have a question.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Good morning, Dinesh Panikar, Dr. Dinesh Panikar, sir. Welcome.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Welcome.
Would just like to correct, no doctor, will be doctor in future, definitely.
Soon to be doctor. Soon to be doctor.
Yes. I joined the session late, Chetan sir, but I liked your one point regarding that depression. When you were showing that, I was literally laughing. Happiness, problems, and depression, the third point. And there you express the 3 F's, that is fear, falling, and flying. And beautiful example given. Now the question is, sir, we all go through depression, definitely. And these kind of statements sometimes helps us, definitely. But over the period of time, and especially in this pandemic, we have seen people who are actually literate, educated, committing suicide. I can give you a number of examples, not just about celebrities. People who have completed graduation, post-graduation, the people who are actually literate are committing suicide because of this depression. So what do you think? What is the reason for that?
It's a beautiful question. But I would like to correct you. People, there is a thin line between educated people and literate people. People, those who are carrying a piece of paper called as degree, you cannot call them a literate people. There was a very good sense in Maharashtra. They were not formally educated, but they were literate. People, those who are committing suicide, I tell you one important point regarding that also. I have told you that you are on the edge of the mountain and you don't have any fear. So I have just discussed the positive part of it, that you should fly and you should get something creative done, because fear is not there. This is a very good moment for you. But most of the time, the people, those who are not literate, the people, those who are not taking it positively, they fall. They fall. The meaning of that falling is committing suicide, wasting themselves, and wasting the time. So there are two probabilities when you are in depression. Either you can fly or either you can fall. And in that falling category, whatever things you mentioned, that comes because you don't have fear in your mind. See, committing suicide or hurting yourself is the most difficult thing. You cannot pinch your body also because you are feared. But when that fear goes, at that point of time, you can do anything. But what I urge to the young people, those who are watching, when you are in depression, make sure that you try to fly. You get positive thing out of that.
Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot. I just realized one thing. I was happy 11 years back because before 11 years, I was not married. Thank you, sir.
Anyone? I have a very short story to tell, sir, if you can permit for 2 minutes.
Yes, please.
Yeah. Actually, regarding marriage, there is a very small story with me. He was a boy who used to ride a bullet. Okay, so he was taking his girlfriend for a stroll, for a ride, and he was not able to hear the voice of the girlfriend when she was talking. At that point of time, he was quite depressed, and he sold that bullet, and he got Activa. And then he started enjoying the journey with his girlfriend, and later on they got married. And after 1 year of marriage, he again went to the vendor and sold that Activa and got bullet. So this is what usually is a humorous thing of marriage. Thank you, sir.